Welcome back to the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, episode number 8. Before we jump into today's episode, let us have a small recap. In the first vision of Zechariah, he saw the angel of Yahweh interceding with Yahweh of hosts for the ongoing bloodshed and war. Second vision, 4 craftsmen take revenge on those who persecuted Jews abroad. Third vision, Aliyah, the returning of the Jews to their homeland, and the expansion of Jerusalem. In the fourth vision, we saw high priest and the atonement. Fifth vision, lampstand and 2 olive trees. In the previous episode we saw, which is the sixth vision, a flying scroll and the law. Today we are going to see Zechariah's mysterious vision, the sealed ephah and its curious journey. Zechariah chapter 5 verses 5 to 11. Let us read the verses first and then we will get into the commentary of it or explanation. Verse 5. Then the angel who was speaking with me went out and said to me, Lift up your eyes and see what this is going forth. Sixth verse. So I said, What is it? And he said, This is the ephah going forth. Again he said, This is their appearance in all the land or the earth. Seventh verse. And behold, a lead cover was lifted up, and this is a woman sitting inside the ephah. Eighth verse. Then he said, This is wickedness. And he threw her down into the middle of the ephah and threw the lid weight on its opening. Ninth verse. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, 2 women were coming out with the wind in their wings, and they had wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heavens. Verse 10. And I said to the angel who was speaking with me, Where are they taking the ephah? 11th verse. Then he said to me, To build a house for her in the land of Shinar, and when it is prepared, she will be set there on her own pedestal, or in her house. Now let us try to break it down. For ease of understanding, let us break today's episode into 4 parts. The first one, things or persons involved in this vision. Number 2, the mystery behind the ephah. Number 3, why Babylon? Number 4, does this vision has got anything to do with the modern times? I would say definitely yes. First, let us see the persons and the things involved in this vision. The angel reveals a new vision to Zechariah. Number 2, the ephah is a jar or a basket with a capacity of approximately 20 liters. Number 3, the ephah is sealed with a heavy lead cover, ensuring it remains tightly shut. Number 4, inside the ephah is a woman referred to as wickedness. Number 5, the angel prevents the woman, symbolizing wickedness, from escaping and securely seals the ephah. Number 6, 2 women with the wings like those of a stork. But why woman, why stork, and why wind? We'll explore. The next one, Zechariah was curious to know the destination of the ephah. The angel reveals the destination as Shinar or Babylon or Mesopotamia. But why Babylon? What we could not see in the book of Revelation, we will see it here. Now let us move to the next segment, the mysterious movement of the ephah, a prophetic insight. Number 1, the ephah's journey. From a global perspective, its movement may appear as a symbol of trade, ensuring food supply for humanity's benefit. But there is more to it. What is the hidden truth? In reality, it is not just trade. It is the wickedness being transported to its destined place. What about the lead and lid? The wicked woman, which is the wickedness trying to come out, but she won't be released until reaches her destination. This means the lawlessness as described in the Bible will only happen during the appointed time. The next one, the strange migration. 2 women with stork-like wings, driven by the wind, swiftly carry the ephah. Their ability to cross continents is significant. But why storks? As unclean birds, they may symbolize the wickedness is being transported by the Gentile nations. Could these Gentile nations represent America and Britain, considering the role in shaping the post-World War II order, particularly through the formation of the United Nations? You got to decide for yourself whether this is a coincidence. United States plus United Kingdom plus United Nations, which could be the wickedness. It is interesting to note that these are the key 2 countries which established the United Nations. Only a deep study on the subject can produce some kind of a result, because everything cannot be told on this platform. By the way, where is the ephah being taken? It is being transported to the land of Shinar or Babylonia or Mesopotamian Greek, where a house or a temple will be built for her. Some translations say temple, some translations say house. You will get to know the answer why. And that is a place where she is going to ultimately reside. Our destiny is revealed in Revelation chapters 17 and 18. Where is the wicked one now? According to the scripture, she currently resides within the Roman Empire. If we consider United Nations as a representation of this wickedness, then she is dwelling in New York. When it comes to the ephah symbolizes both commerce and sustenance. It also draws a connection to the black horse in the book of Revelation. Once the third seal is opened, what could be the timeline of this particular event? A global famine is said to occur during the first 3.5 years of the 7-year period. As a result, a quarter of the world's population will perish in its aftermath. During the second half of the tribulation, where he comes out of the sea, he is going to make things very clear. Unless you take the seal, you will never get any kind of food to survive. So all these things needs to happen when he is portraying himself as a global leader who's trying to save the world. That means the first half. Now let us see what's special and why Babylon. Many scholars remain skeptical about the role of ancient Babylon in biblical prophecy. Before forming any views, let us briefly explore its biblical history. Look up Ishtar Gate, Iraq, and you will see the image on the screen. In this picture, number 1 is Saddam Hussein's palace. He claimed to be the descendant of Nebuchadnezzar, a pagan king who worshipped moon god. Consider the significance of this connection. Number 2, ancient Babylon's walls. It is expected this is where Nebuchadnezzar took the Israelites. If that is the case, Prophet Ezekiel lived here only. Number 3, the Tower of Babel or Ziggurat of Babel. The Bible describes this as humanity's rebellion against Yahweh after Noah's flood. Some scholars believe the tower was not just for flood survival, but a ritual site to summon divine beings. There is a possibility. Why does this matter? The Bible tells us that Yahweh imprisoned fallen angels beneath the earth for corrupting humanity by intermingling with women and producing Nephilim. We can see this in Genesis chapter 6. Spiritual beings are assigned dominion over various realms, as seen in the book of Revelation, where angel controls celestial bodies as well as natural forces. Ephesians 6:12 confirms this. For our struggle is not against with flesh and blood, but against rulers, authorities, and spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places, not on the earth. So somebody is sitting there and ruling. Daniel chapter 10 provides further insight into the supernatural rulers. But when did all this begin? That's a big question. The Bible does not give full details yet. Deuteronomy 32:8 and 9 reveals that Yahweh divided the nations after Babel according to the sons of God, heavenly beings. While many translations say sons of Israel, versions like ESV, BSB, and NET correctly reference the heavenly host. Psalm 82 reinforces again. Asaph prophet states, "You are gods." It is clearly mentioned Elohim in Hebrew. Sons of the Most High, but you will die like men. Obviously, this is not men. This passage suggests that these spiritual beings in second heaven will be judged one day. Verse 8 declares, "Arise, O God, and take control of the earth." The Greek Septuagint word for arise connects to resurrection, linking to Jesus Christ. I am giving some details here. Those who wanted to deep dive into this particular subject, please go through this. Now let us outline the timeline. Adam to Noah's flood is 1656 years. We call it as Anno Mundi or from the date of creation. Nations divided after Babel, but before the calling of Abraham, which happened in 2000 from the date of creation. So from Babel onwards, Yahweh claimed the future Israel, the land of Canaan, leaving other lands to lesser Elohim. You may have to do a study on this particular psalm. Revelation chapter 17 and 18 calls Babylon the mother of harlots, a center of false religion and trade. This corruption likely traces back to pre-flood era, not just Babel. The Bible warns that spirits imprisoned beneath the Euphrates will be released during the final tribulation. Could Nimrod's rebellion be a post-flood continuation of this corruption? Babylon's prophesied destruction, like Sodom and Gomorrah, has not yet occurred yet. So what remains in modern southern Iraq, which is the ancient Babylon, that awaits the judgment? Let us explore the possibilities. This will be the last segment for this video. The importance of Babylon in modern times. The Bible is clear. Before the Antichrist is revealed, 10 nations and 10 kings must rise. But what is stopping it today? Currently, the US dominates global wealth and power, holding 30 trillion USD out of 115 GDP of this world. History shows that no superpower remains forever. After Noah's flood, Egypt led, followed by Assyria, then Babylon, then Persia, then Greece, and then finally Rome. Rome was never destroyed and only transformed. In recent centuries, the UK and now the US have been dominant. So, what prevents the rise of these 10 kings? US economic and military supremacy. The deep rooted alliance between the US and UK, especially since World War II, is complex and requires deep study. One common factor among nearly 200 nations today is the United Nations, an entity shaped by these two powers. Let us come back to the topic again. Zechariah's prophecy and Babylon. Zechariah saw a vision of an ephah with a lead lid, inside which was a woman called wickedness. Some prophecy experts suggest this represents the United Nations or a future global entity. The prophecy states this wickedness will be moved to Shinar in Hebrew, famously called Babylon or Mesopotamia in Greek, which means a land between two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. Could current events lead to this shift? Let us see. February 28, 2025. A clash between Trump's team and Zelensky shook Europe. The EU plans to raise its defense budget to 800 billion, which is not a joke. Many EU leaders support globalism and oppose Trump's nationalist policies. Some experts refer to Biden administration as the globalist agenda executors due to EU alignment. Trump tariffs have angered many nations. March 4, 2025, Warren Buffett said tariffs are an act of war. It is available online. A viral post on X suggesting leaving NATO and UN, to which Elon Musk replied, I agree. What does all these things mean? If the US exits the UN, where would it go? The Bible points to Shinar. The stark winged women in Zechariah's vision could symbolize the US and UK facilitating this move. I am not saying only this has to happen, but there is a possibility. We should remember the Babylon was never been destroyed, but the Bible says it will be destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. And that too, instantly as mentioned in the book of Revelation. So how do we conclude all this? The fall of US could signal the rise of 10 nations and 10 kings. As believers, we need not fear. Instead, we should look up, for our redemption is near. Jesus is coming soon. Zechariah has a lot to say in the remaining chapters. So we'll meet again according to the will of our Father. Until then, Shalom. God bless you.